Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach and athletic director of Dublin High School, Roger Holmes. Coach, coming off a region championship 2 weeks ago with Dodge County. I'm going to call it what we're into now. We're in the playoff edition of the Coaches Show.
Yes, sir.
Really love this time of year at Dublin High School. We've come to kind of expect things like this to happen in Dublin. For your football team, one of the things that I've heard for years and years is you want your teams playing best in Week 11. We're here.
We're here, and we hope we're playing as good as we can play. It's been last week was a tough week. It was a strange week in the sense that obviously we knew we were in the playoffs. We knew at the time we were a number 2 overall seed. Trying to mathematically go through and look at all these different scenarios and possibilities, we weren't able to do it. There were so many different games, but what we really wanted to try to figure out, was there an opportunity, if everything fell right, numbers-wise, that we could actually move up and become the number 1 overall seed, and we weren't as it finished up. So when we went out to practice last week, it was one of those things where there were 5 or 6 different scenarios about who we could end up playing, and conversations with you and a lot of people was like, Coach, who we going to play? Who you think we're going to play?
Yeah, how many times your phone rang?
And I'm saying, I don't know. I really don't know. And a game that played a big portion, you had the Maxwell rankings and predictions on the playoff bracket was based on what Maxwell perceived. The computer said who should win the games that were left to be played.
And we all looked at it.
And at the end of the day, there were 2 games that the computer got wrong. One of those was East Lawrence and Southwest. East Lawrence was a 2-point favorite by the computer, and I think the game ended up 20-7 Southwest. And the other game that was a big upset was Fitzgerald over Appling County. Appling County was like 18-point favorite, 13 or 18 or something. Well, when those 2 games flipped, it really changed the bracket, and the bottom half of the bracket changed considerably with the East Lawrence loss. They went from like a 26
from teams getting in and getting out,
and 32 teams go in, and they drop down to a 34 or 35. So they're out of the playoff picture. But it put Southwest in the playoffs. And then Vidalia was the last. They were number 32.
Right.
Vidalia got in as the last team at number 32.
And they'll go up and play Fannin.
They're going to Fanning, and then, as we said, Gordon Central was 31, and the number 2 plays the 31. Thus, Gordon Central here at home. I was real proud of the region that we're in. People talk about, your strength of schedule.
Right.
Well, 7 teams in our region are in the top 32 teams that made the playoffs.
That says something.
Yeah, the only 3 that did not get in were East Lawrence, Central out of Macon, and Jefferson County. Everybody else is in. Now, for our players and that concept, with the fact that we played Swainsboro, who also made the playoffs, we've played 8 out of the 32 teams that are in this bracket.
Right.
So we belong.
Absolutely.
And we've got a chance here. The other beauty of finishing as a number 2 overall seed is the fact that as long as you can win, you're always at home.
You're going to play right here.
We get to play right here in the Shamrock Bowl, rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, you have to win to be able to get to that stage, but thus is a good situation now.
The brackets are set. Finally, I'm telling you, I did not call you. I know your phone was blowing up. I said, I'm going to give Coach a break. Saturday night, I had already been disappointed once by watching Georgia lose to Ole Miss Saturday. And I guess Tennessee was playing, and we were all sitting around kind of waiting for these brackets to drop. GHSA actually took that site off the website, so you actually couldn't even get to it. You were probably on some kind of a Zoom call with
Georgia
folks,
High School.
With folks that we're not aware of, things like that we wouldn't be privy to. And the common folks are trying to go to the website and punch in the power rankings and the brackets, and they've all deleted this off. The system's blown up. You're on a Zoom call with coaches, and the brackets still weren't right.
Well, that happened, and it's a good thing that it was a Zoom call with multiple people on it, because they had made an error in their bracket and had Savannah Country Day, which is a private school. They had erroneously, or made a mistake, put them into the public school bracket, which would have knocked Vidalia out of the playoffs. And we're sitting there on the Zoom, and everybody's mics are muted, but someone types in, and I didn't catch it at first, said, hey, Savannah Country Day is a private school. And they put everybody on pause and went away and came back and said, hey, it was an error on our part. We didn't realize that Savannah Country Day was private. And so then they had to take them out, reshuffle the bracket, and put it back out. So
this was probably in the 8 p.m. hour of a Saturday night.
Our classification, they had it set up because they couldn't have everybody on a Zoom because they only had so many seats, if you will. So our classification was to log on at 8:25. The meeting would start at 8:30, and by 8:40ish, you should be done. So yeah, my phone was blowing up. So, and they still had 2 more meetings to go through before they were going to post it. So that's why Facebook is the easiest way to get out a story, whether it's a truth or a lie. You can get a story out on Facebook.
I didn't call because I knew Mitch Warnock's probably blowing your phone up pretty hard Saturday night, so I didn't.
So I hand wrote a bracket out and just posted it, and because my coaches, they weren't up here at the meeting, they wanted to know who we were going to play, and now it's 8:45, 9 o'clock. Shortly thereafter, I get a text message from the coach at Gordon Central, and we talked earlier in the week in case it happened. Now we're trading film, and I said, well, how many you want to trade? He said, let's trade all 10. So we had to go through, and I sent him mine.
Right.
Which he can't open mine till he sends me his. And then when you get them, then you got to go through and figure out who's home and away to send it off to what we call huddle assist. They go through and do a lot of the down, distance, hash marks, all that information gets put in. Saves you coaches a load of time. And then, I went home, watched the rest of the Tennessee game, went to sleep. And at 4 o'clock that morning, I woke up big-eyed. I mean, I couldn't go back to sleep.
Playoff time.
And normally, you're watching film on your opponent all day Saturday and get ready for Sunday and come in. But
here it is Sunday
morning, and we hadn't seen a film yet. So I hit the office about 6 a.m. The coaches came in at 8, and we got a lot accomplished, obviously, through the day on Sunday.
Right. Well, Coach, there was just a lot of anticipation Saturday night, and that's what goes into a playoff-type atmosphere. A new thing by doing the 1 through 32 brackets. First year GHSA's done this in many, many, many years. I think they did it with the smaller classifications at some point in time years ago. We'll see how this works out. I think it'd probably be a good time to take a break and have a word from our sponsors, and we'll come back and talk about Gordon Central.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Here, Mr. Jones, here's your tune-up parts. Thank you.
Chevy or GMC, we've got your trucks.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go, yes, sir.
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football. So let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo!
And we're back. Coach, we'll go ahead and get into what our players have done last week during the off week and in preparation for, we didn't know who we were going to play. You know, we found out, like you said, late Saturday night, Gordon Central, a team up North Georgia out of Calhoun, I think.
Correct.
In that area. We know how long of a road trip that is up there.
That's a tough trip.
We've been up there to Calhoun, and
it's not near as tough going up as it is coming back.
That's
Woo,
right.
Man, I remember that trip. If I remember right, when we went up and played Calhoun in the playoffs several years ago, the team bus beat the fan buses back. The fan buses had a breakdown or something.
I was on the fan bus, Coach.
Yeah, I think y'all got home about 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was a rough trip. It was a good trip, though, because we came home with a victory up there. I think I remember that year being Cochran had a big fake punt. And
yeah, I had a good night.
Did some good things up there. But the team we're playing is coming out of that area. We know they've got a 3-hour ride down here to Dublin, Georgia, to the Shamrock Bowl. I did get to see some clips on them. After I found out you let me know who we were going to play, I looked at some clips of them, 2 or 3 games. One of the games, I believe, was the Fannin County game. Those guys up there were 10-0, won the region up there, and Gordon Central played them a pretty good game with what I looked at. Pretty stout quarterback, 106 out of 186, got about a 92% quarterback rating up there. They throw the ball a lot. Good mixture of running the ball in with that. So they, their record doesn't really the record is not great, but it doesn't really show a lot for the region they played in up there. From what I saw, they have some really, really tough players, good blockers on offense, and some linebackers that will come down the hill and hit you in the mouth.
Shoot, I ain't much else I can say. You've been watching more film than I have.
I don't think that, but
they're 4-6. First thing I told our players yesterday, to give you an idea, they're a senior-dominated football team. They start a lot of seniors offensively and defensively. If you go back and look at the history of their school, they had been on a 31-game losing streak going into this season. That means that group of seniors did not win a game their sophomore and their junior year. In today's society, what would a lot of people have done under those circumstances? They would have quit.
They'd have folded.
This bunch didn't quit. They kept playing, and now all of a sudden they've got themselves in a position to be in the state playoffs. That tells you what kind of effort this group of football players from Gordon Central is going to bring to the Shamrock Bowl on Friday night. Their coach is a coach by the name of Lenny Gregory. In 2019, we won the state championship, and we had to go to a thing with the Atlanta Touchdown Club, and that was the first time I had an opportunity to meet Coach Lenny Gregory. He was the head football coach at Collins Hill High School, who won the 7A state championship that year. And so that in itself tells you a little bit about the quality of coaching they have there at Gordon Central now. He decided he wasn't let go at Collins Hill. He wanted to get out of the metro Atlanta hustle and bustle.
Been there, done that, and he had an opportunity.
And he had an opportunity, and he went over and took a job that had not had much success. And you can see his footprint and his stamp going all over that program and the things that they do. When you talk about them from the offensive standpoint, it all starts with that quarterback. Now, on the season, they're at about 52% run to 48% pass. The last 4 games.
Doesn't seem like that, though.
The last 4 games, it's about 65% pass, 35% run. So they're leaning more toward throwing the football, and their quarterback not only throws a good ball, but he can pull it down, scramble, and run. He is the straw in that drink.
Right.
He makes it go. He's a really solid football player. Now, he's got 2 or 3 weapons at wide receivers. A couple of those young men are like 6'3", 210, 215.
Seniors.
And they're real tough matchups for you on the back end. The other thing that they probably do as well or better than anybody we've played at this point is they love the screen pass game.
Right.
They screen their backs with what we call slow screens. They throw fast screens to their wideouts and tunnel screens. And on top of that, they got all the trick plays. They'll throw they'll fake the hitch screen, throw the wheel. They'll throw it out to a back, and then he'll throw a halfback pass, and they throw the hook and lateral, and they've run the split end around reverse flea flicker and throw. So they've got all the tricks on top of the ability to throw the football and spread it out. And then their number one run play is called the outside zone stretch play. And
we run that, yeah.
That's really one of the best things that they probably do in the run game. They'll run a little bit of counter. They use formations to try to really get the edge on you. So, from an offensive standpoint, they make you as a defense have to defend both the run and the pass. They make you defend the short game. They make you defend the long game. So they create a lot of issues for you with what they're doing on offense.
What is Coach Stubbs and his coaches, defensive coaches out there, what kind of game plan, what have they had to scramble and look at?
Well, I just think the versatility of what Gordon Central brings into this game. You can't load the box to stop the run. You can't push everybody back to defend the pass. You're gonna have to be able to mix and match. Sometimes bring pressure, sometimes drop people out. It becomes a guessing game when somebody's as versatile as they are, and I think that's really the big key is try to defensively get into a rhythm and the feel of how they're calling their offensive plays.
Our guys had a week last week after the Dodge victory and the region championship victory, had a chance to get their legs back up under them, kind of get out in shorts and helmet and that kind of thing, and I'm sure we're back at full pads again this week. Are we healthy, or did it help them last week?
Well, most of the kids said yesterday they felt better. We had a good practice yesterday, and last week was dedicated to things Dublin wasn't doing great.
All right.
Because again, you don't know who you're going to play. You don't know what kind of defense they're in, what they do on offense. But things that we know that we haven't done real well, we try to really focus on those and improve and hopefully, as we say, be playing our best football in Game 11, fix what we're not doing good.
Right.
So that's kind of how the week went.
Right. Coach, I think it'll be a good time. We'll take a break, come back with some more Dublin football and finish up.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Here, Mr. Jones, here's your tune-up parts. Thank you.
Chevy or GMC, we've got your trucks.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go! Yes, sir!
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football. So let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo! And we're back, Coach. Let's talk a little bit about Gordon Central defensively, what they're going to bring in here to Shamrock Bowl.
Physical, run to the ball, tackle very, very well. Their safeties really get involved in the run game. You know, obviously that's what we like to do is run the football. And those safeties for them do a really good job of getting downhill. And those are hats you don't account for,
right?
You know, and so we've got to do some things, obviously, to be good at downfield blocking in case we can clear the line of scrimmage. I don't have the roster in front of me, but the player that for them that stands out enormously is number one. He plays defensive end, about 6'3", 230, runs to the football, makes plays everywhere. Number 8 for them at defensive tackle, or number 9, excuse me. We call him a tackle. I'm sure they call him a defensive end in their 3-4 scheme. He's a heck of a football player, real athletic, spins out of a lot of blocks, runs to the football extremely well.
That's why they don't give up.
Yeah, they're going to play extremely hard. You know, I think inside they're going, you know, they base out of an odd front for the most part. Now, against some of the spread teams, they've gone to an even front quite a bit trying to defend the spread stuff. We did get to see one film against, I think they were playing our Murchie, that uses formations similar to ours. And the offense really isn't the same, but similar formations, and they stayed in their 50 front. They're going to slant a bunch. Looks like they try to defend the field, try to make you beat them running into the boundary. And so very, very balanced defensive football team. I think on the season, they're scoring like 23 points a game. They're giving up like 25, 26 points a game. Thus, a mediocre record, kind of right there at 5-5.
The record could be flipped, though.
Yeah, and you know, their kicking game has been sound for them. Their punter is averaging more yards punting in the air than anybody we've played against all year. And their kickoff guy, you know, he'll kick the ball inside the 10 pretty consistently when they choose to do that. They've tried a couple of 35, 40-yard field goals. I know 140, he definitely had the distance on it, but he pulled it to the left. So strong kicking game. I think their fans are really excited to come to the Shamrock Bowl, looking at some things they've had out on social media.
Oh, they're going to travel.
This game
that group is, up there from Calhoun, Georgia.
They love their football up there.
They're going to travel. They're going to bring a group down to the bowl Friday night, and that's our job is to get the folks from the city of Dublin and Lawrence County packed in this Shamrock Bowl Friday night.
No doubt. Tickets, all Go fan, just like we've been all season, but this is required by GHSA. Season tickets are over with, folks. Playoffs. Everybody has to pay to get into the game for the playoffs. If you were a reserve seat ticket holder,
right,
you still have to buy your ticket for the game, but you will be able to come through the pass gate with your chairback seating or reserve seating thing, and they will let you into that center section
Okay.
To be able to keep the seats
Right.
that you paid for early on into the season. That's
Being a
one of the
member of the
reasons.
Touchdown
Exactly.
Club.
We tell our folks season tickets can be to your advantage. Yep, they cost you a little bit more. But if you want chair-back seating as these playoffs progress, if we're able to keep winning, the stadium starts filling up, the parking lots fill up. You can get there late, walk in 15 minutes before the game, and you know you got your seat because it was reserved.
Well, that helps you being a member of the Dublin Touchdown Club. You got this parking lot right up front.
Yep.
You got the side gate, pass gates. You got the reserved seats coming in. You know, it helps. And it's never too late to join the Dublin Touchdown Club, too. It's
Well, we need all the support you can get in the playoffs. You know, we're not going to have to do a lot of travel, you know, and that's a good thing. But still, extended year brings on extended expenses.
It does.
That
has every
feeding
year.
the players meals after games and that type of stuff. And I know I heard at the Touchdown Club meeting last night that the comment was made, we need to do some fundraising right now because the kitty's getting kind of low.
Right, and well, they always do, and we've always been able to come through, but it's a great advantage, you know, to be a member of the Touchdown Club. You get to come to the meetings Monday night. You get the inside track on maybe what Gordon Central might do that we're not saying here. You get your parking lot outside. You get your seating, you know, your 50-yard line chair-back seating out here if you want it. So, you know, I'm saying it's never too late.
No,
I've seen folks join the Touchdown Club with 2 weeks left in the season.
Yep.
Just to get in on the information, be able to come in and park. It's a good way to raise a little extra money.
Hopefully we can get some local fans in the stadium this week. You know, Trinity Christian, congratulations to them. They had a great run. I know they lost last week, I think, in the second round of their state playoffs, but they had a great year. You know, invite the Trinity folks over if they're looking for a game. East Lawrence, season is over with.
They
now.
almost made it.
Yep.
So they almost made it.
People are looking for a football game, and then West Lawrence, congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
They made the playoffs, and that's a tough deal. They played Baldwin last week, and West got the win, and now they got to turn around and go to Baldwin this week in the first round of the state playoffs. So if you don't want to make the drive, make the short drive to the Shamrock Bowl, and let's get football season number 2 started.
Right, Coach, great meeting again this week. We'll be back with highlights of the Gordon Central game next week.